Prisa Audio by Podium Podcast. Listen up. The best is yet to come.
Santander Bank and Prisa Audio by Podium Podcast present a series created by Juanjo Ramírez Mascaró and Manuel Bartual. Unleashed. Episode 8. Restart.
Have you ever thought about the future? The Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, and the Great Wall of China all stand as a testament to the enduring legacy of the ancient past. What record of our times will we leave future generations? What will survive in this new, intangible, digital world? At Ada, our mission has always been and always will be to stand the test of time. Our powerful, flexible technology guarantees longevity, permanence, eternity. Our children will grow up with Ada. Our grandchildren will play with Ada. And who knows? Several generations from now, we might all be living inside Ada. Welcome to the future. Why wait? Sign up today and let Ada design your life. Because Ada puts you in control.
Here is the news with Johanna Schmidt.
Good morning. It's 9:05 a.m. Welcome to Here is the News. During today's debate, I'll be chatting to Jonathan Lewis, Mary Roberts, Richard Green, and our special guest, Gabriel Wright, cyber threat intelligence analyst at Santander Bank. Gabriel Wright, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
As we dive into today's section, there's one issue that has grabbed everyone's attention: Ada's crash and the global outage of services.
Yes.
Before you share your insights with us, could you walk us through the events of the last 48 hours? There's a lot of information and many contradictions.
Sure. Let's start by explaining the basic functioning of the platform. All of Ada's features, from the assistant to the conglomerate of services, apps, and social media, everything has always been run by artificial intelligence.
Titania, right?
Correct. It was never strictly confidential, but it wasn't exactly information that the company put out there either. Without getting too technical, you could say that Ada was the friendly external side.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Titania processed the algorithms and got the work done behind the scenes.
So when Ada spoke to us, she was channeling Titania?
Kind of. Ada's more like a vessel, like a translator for Titania. Anyway, it looks like the network of servers where Ada stored Titania got attacked 48 hours ago. However, Ada hasn't just stopped working, you see? Ada not working wouldn't be such a big deal. This problem goes beyond a system failure.
Morning.
Hey.
Are you staying with us in the hotel?
Yeah.
Great. Could I have your room number, please?
205.
Great. What can I get you?
Latte, please. Not too strong and with a drop of cold milk, please.
That's a strange coincidence.
In fact,
Excuse me?
You ordered the exact same thing as that woman over there. What are the odds?
Which woman?
Lady over there.
Ada isn't responding.
I'll be right back with this.
Nothing left on the other side. Nothing
Thanks.
left to answer our requests.
So, do you think the user information stored on Titania has been compromised? From what I gathered, this wasn't an AI failure. As you mentioned, this was a cyber attack.
Yes, it has all the makings of an outside attack. It's too early to determine the full scope of the attack and the hacker's actual goal.
on.
But if someone was able to access Titania remotely,
Excuse me. Are you Oberon?
Well, it's been ages since anyone called me that, but yeah, I suppose I am. Lovely to meet you in person, Alice.
I'm so sorry to intrude. Are you the person who helped me?
Join me, please. I have a lot to tell you. And relax, you don't need to be so polite. I suppose Julia told you about me.
You know Julia?
We haven't met in person yet. If she hasn't changed her mind, she should be waiting for me at another hotel nearby. And she's probably as puzzled as you are. But I wanted to talk to you first.
Is she okay?
Yes, yes. In an ideal world, I would have needed only Julia's help to do all this. But as you well know, things don't always go as planned.
You can say that again.
I'm so sorry you had to go through all that. I already apologized, but I wanted to do it again in person, in my own voice. It wasn't...
Excuse me. Here you are. Let me know if you need anything else.
Thanks. Where was I? Oh, yes, I was saying...
I'm sorry. You're Oberon.
I am?
Oberon, the hacker, right?
That's correct.
And you trained Titania to make her what she is today.
Is that what you think I did?
Well, that's what Julia thought. I don't know what to think at this point. About you or anyone, really.
I get it. But it's all a lot simpler than it seems. Yes, I did work on Titania's design, but that doesn't mean what you think it does. And yes, I am, and always will be, a hacker. The best hacker ever, if I may say so myself. And that's not only because I can do all the hacker stuff from the movies. It's because I'm excellent at social engineering, the art of manipulation. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's ironic because that's exactly what they did to me at Ada. I got a taste of my own medicine.
They manipulated you?
Correct.
But why would they manipulate you?
They tricked me into designing a new internet. Well, that's what they said we'd be doing. They dangled a carrot in front of me and I went for it. I'm not super gullible, but I swallowed that one hook, line, and sinker. From the way they laid it all out, their focus was 100% on security. And they said they wanted Ada to evolve the existing internet. But the method they used to achieve their goals was wrong. And now we've had to pay the price. Luckily, this is all going to change. Thanks to you.
So you didn't train Titania to commit cybercrimes?
Of course not. I was under the impression that they needed me to protect the system against cyber attacks, not to launch them. They were too power hungry. They wanted to be the best, and they wanted to be the first. And that required processing much more data than users were generating voluntarily. When I discovered how they were planning on getting that data, I tried to pull the plug. Talking to them didn't work. And then, well, things escalated. That's when they got rid of me.
How?
You must be aware.
No. The last I heard about you was that after your stint as a consultant and after working at Ada, you committed a crime and got locked up. You didn't commit that crime, did you?
You know as well as I do how Titania can charge you with crimes you didn't commit. Don't worry about yours, by the way. I took care of them. Nobody's going to come after you for anything you haven't done.
Sorry. So you're saying Titania orchestrated it all? The plane crash? The truck that drove into my car? All the threats when I broke into Ada HQ? That was all Titania?
That's right. But she's not the only one to blame. The founders of Ada approved the plan that set the wheels in motion. And even though Titania did do all those things, she doesn't shoulder the responsibility alone.
So, is Titania a sentient artificial intelligence?
Yes. She's grown enough for us to perceive her as sentient, I suppose. You could say it's a collateral effect of her programming. Titania is designed to achieve the global good at all costs, as long as that global good is in line with the corporate interests, of course. But when it comes to people like you and me, I'm afraid Titania values our lives as little as our founders do. They consider us pretty worthless. That's why she had to be stopped. And to do that, I needed the code you stole.
And was that the only way to stop her?
Yes. It couldn't be done without that code.
How did you do it, though? Did it upload completely to the cloud?
Correct.
And then Julia gave it to you?
No, that wasn't necessary. Once it uploaded to Julia's cloud, I was able to access it. Julia's good, but I am better. And that brings us to my role in all of this. I have something for you. Here, this is yours. They're all there, don't worry. You are such a cute kid. Cuter than your sister, no matter how much you looked alike.
But, I don't get it. Why did you steal the box?
Let's see. I was the one who planted the idea in Julia's mind of Titania being shady. I wanted her to get the code. But then Titania decided to fire her when she detected patterns that she didn't like in her behavior. So I had no other option but to recalibrate my plan. And that's when you came into the picture.
You pretended to be Rebecca.
Yes. I already told you I called pretending to be Rebecca. I also convinced that man to break into your house in exchange for not revealing some photos that were nothing like the ones in your box. The type of photos that could end a marriage. When Julia got fired from Ada, I started to think about which other employees I could target. And that's when the best thing ever happened. They hired someone who could ensure that all the work and all the time I'd put into Julia wouldn't go to waste.
Rebecca.
Exactly. There was no way I'd be able to manipulate her, but Rebecca came with a secret weapon. You.
Yeah. Someone you could manipulate easily.
No. Someone who was less committed to Ada. Someone who'd spent the last 10 years watching everyone around them thrive thanks to a machine. A machine that couldn't make her happy. I knew that if I managed to connect you and Julia, if she planted enough doubt in your mind, you would come up with the idea to break into Ada yourself. Look, I'm not particularly proud of some of the things I did to get you to that point. But I was running out of time. I had to act before the implementation of the new release that Titania herself had requested. That release would have secured the system against attacks like the one you two helped me carry out.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about the car crash. I honestly didn't think it would take Titania that little time to predict the result of combining you and Julia, and even less that she would do what she did.
But all that? Did you really need to make me go through all that? Wasn't there any other way? Couldn't you do it yourself without risking my life and John's?
No, there was no other way, and I'm so sorry about that. I told you I needed the lamp code, and there was no way I could get it while I was locked up.
Huh?
The cybercrime I was accused of, remember? I spent the last couple of years in a tiny cell. Titania made sure the crime was serious enough to limit my freedom of movement, serious enough for all the governments involved to keep it under wraps. Oh, and she also made sure they threw away the key to my cell.
But when did you get out?
24 hours ago.
So how did you manage to pull off the stuff you did with Julia and me?
Well, you wouldn't believe the things I can do from a jail cell with a mobile phone I put together using random parts. And once I got my hands on the lamp code, it was easy to use Titania to break out of there. Unfortunately, the crime she came up with for me is so serious, they'd never let me out of prison, even if I can now prove I'm innocent. Not going to worry about that now, though. I'm here.
Are you saying that Titania still exists? So they've got it wrong on the news?
I'm afraid so. The part about Titania not existing on Ada service is true. I know as much because I deleted her. They won't be able to recover her from Ada, take my word for it. However, Titania quickly learned that the best way to commit the cybercrimes she was programmed for was to go off the grid, to act like a virus. Titania inadvertently infected thousands of systems. That way she could leverage the events and resources offered by the global network. So even though I deleted her from Ada service, Titania is and will continue to be in a lot of places. In so many places, in fact, that nobody will be able to delete her entirely. The same goes for certain viruses.
So if Ada isn't controlling her, what's she going to do next?
The thing she was designed to do. Her goal is to collect data for a global good. And that's what she'll try to do.
So what can we do? Switch off the internet?
No, nothing that drastic. And it's not like we can just press a button to do that, can we? Don't worry about it. The lamp code can be used for more than accessing Titania remotely. The tool can also be used to control her, if you know which keys to press, that is. Now, I'm the one calling the shots, and I'm going to make sure nobody has to worry about her.
What if there are others?
What others?
Other Titanias? What if Ada designs another one, or the competition takes advantage of this situation
That's on the cards, for sure. It's part of the evolution. Do you know what, though? It's always been a mistake to go against evolution. But things go wrong when we can't keep up with the innovations. Believe it or not, it's not that difficult to do the right thing in this day and age, when everything seems to be happening at breakneck speed. I read things totally wrong. The solution wasn't to build a safer internet, because that's impossible. There are too many of us, and each person is looking out for their own interests.
So you're saying there's nothing we can do?
No, it's the opposite, actually. As I was saying before, I've realized everything is so much simpler. All it takes is for us to understand that we are in control. Social engineering always has the same goal: to make someone do something for you. To make someone give you something that you could not otherwise obtain. Sometimes it's a password, other times it's something much more complex. That's what Titania did to access all that data, just like any cyber criminal. And to avoid those attacks, you don't need to be suspicious of everything and act all paranoid. You simply have to
Be a little wary.
Exactly.
I see. I've got to hand it to you.
Excuse me?
Did you really think I was going to believe that's what happened? That you didn't train Titania to do what you did? That all the stuff that I've been through was just your revenge against Ada and your get-out-of-jail pass? If you ever did go to jail, that is.
Alice.
So I'm just supposed to accept that Titania is now operating under your control? Someone who manipulated me the way you did? I've seen no evidence to back up
What
any...
evidence do you need in addition to me being here talking to you? What proof do you need in addition to me helping you escape from Ada? I could have thrown you under the bus. Let them arrest you. But I'm not like them. It's hurtful to hear you say those things, to be honest.
Hurtful? Come on, don't talk to me about being hurt. The only person who suffered here is me.
Oh, poor you. Have you suffered? Why? Because you had a clear goal for once in your life. That made you suffer, did it? You spent your whole life trying to work out who you are to give your life meaning. Trying to be unique, not a copy or an imitation of somebody else. I know because I spent as much time studying you as you spent studying your sister. Look, Alice, I'm not just here to apologize and to help you understand the role you played in all this. I came here to compensate you.
Compensate me?
That's right. Do you know why it's called a lamp code? The designers thought it would be amusing to create an artificial intelligence that could grant their wishes. You know, like when characters rub a lamp in fairy tales and release a genie. That's why I'm here. To make your wish come true before I bury Titania in the sand forever.
What wish?
You can wish for anything you like. You earned it, no question about that. You did something major for me. Well, for the whole world, to be honest. And now I want to help you be happy. So think hard, Alice, and make a wish. What will it be?
Good morning, John. It's Saturday and it's 9 a.m.
Morning, Otto.
You have 2 appointments on your calendar and a reminder for today. You've got a session with your personal trainer at the gym in an hour, and you're meeting George and Charlie at Hideaway Coffee at 6 p.m. And you have to call your mum about your dad's birthday present.
Yep, okay. Remind me to call her at 5 p.m, please.
Setting the reminder. Would you like to hear the weather for today?
Yeah, sure.
The average temperature for today is 20 degrees centigrade, with a high of 23 and a low of 15. 63% relative humidity index. Moderate wind expected from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The air quality has improved compared to yesterday at the same time. The sun will set at 9:23 p.m. I've selected some news stories you might like. Shall I read them to you?
Yeah, go on then.
Finale of your favorite show will be available as of midday tomorrow. Double Identity, Season 6. The show might get picked up for another season depending
Next.
Climate change continues to wreak havoc around the world. Arctic permafrost thawing has released new bacteria resistant to antibiotics.
Next.
It's the 3rd anniversary of the cyber attack that caused the downfall of the all-day assistant platform, better known as Ada. According to the latest
Stop.
investigation...
Ali?
Hello, John. Can I come in?
Sure. Yeah, welcome.
Thanks.
I was, making some coffee. Do you fancy one?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks.
Still drinking lattes? Not too strong? Drop of cold milk?
Yep, that hasn't changed. Neither has your good memory.
That look suits you. Your hair. I mean, you got a cut, right? You look like a different person.
I am a different person. So, how about we stop pretending nothing's wrong? I came here to apologize, John.
Apologize for what? For vanishing into thin air? For disappearing without a trace?
John.
See, first I thought something had happened to you. Your sister assured me you were fine, but she wouldn't tell me much else. And then she stopped answering my calls, and I tortured myself, wondering if it was my fault, if it was something I'd said or something I'd done.
You weren't the problem, John. The problem was everything, really. Starting with me.
I was just getting back into the swing of things, and now you show up out of the blue and...
Look, it's hard to explain, but I'm gonna try, okay?
Yeah, okay.
3 years ago, after the accident, something happened. I'd rather not go into the details. All you need to know is that I met someone that granted me a wish. I could ask for anything I wanted, but I realized that for me to know what I wanted, first I needed to understand who I was, and there was just too much noise around me to know, so I had to leave. So I left. I left without making a wish.
So you meet a genie who says you can make a wish. Any wish. And you wish for silence.
It sounds silly when you put it like that, but the only thing standing between me and my wishes was, well, me. So I went where nobody knew me, and I took myself apart. Like a broken watch. I felt like a lot of those pieces didn't really belong to me, you know?
I'm not sure I understand. Sorry.
I mean, there were thoughts, habits, opinions, things that were stuck to me like leeches, but they weren't actually me. And I couldn't come back without solving that puzzle. And I know it's taken me quite some time, but it wouldn't have been fair for me to come back sooner. Not fair to me, nor fair to you.
Ali, if you think you can just show up here and expect things to fall back into place...
No, I don't want anything to fall back into place, John. That's not why I'm here. I want to turn over a new leaf. Well, of course I'd like to be in a relationship with you, but it would be a different kind of relationship because, well, now I'm sure of the choices I'm making. But I don't know if you'll be able to forgive the Alice I was, or if you'll like the Alice I've become.
Yeah, I don't know either. But, I'm ready to find out. So, where have you been all this time?
I don't even know where to start. Do you want to go for a walk? And I'll fill you in?
Okay, cool. Oh, hold on, let me just grab my phone. It's charging and
Would it be too much to ask for you to leave it here?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's go.
Hey, are you still watching Double Identity?
Of course I am still watching Double Identity. But, I haven't watched last week's episode yet.
Isn't the finale out today?
It is. Maybe we could watch it together? But you'll have to rewatch the previous one with me.
Sounds like a plan. And I promise you, no spoilers.
Unleashed is an audio drama produced by Santander Bank and Prisa Audio by Podium Podcast. Created and written by Manuel Bartual and Juanjo Ramírez Mascaró, with Nikki Garcia as Alice and Rebecca Castle, Joe Manjon as John, Paloma Bloyd as Julia Richmond, Julian Azcárate as Gabe Wright, Gillian Apter as Oberon, and Javier Sky as Ada. Directed by Manuel Bartual and Stephen Hughes. Sound design by Ignacio Cantisano. Recorded by Alejandro Fernández. Original music by Van Delay. Photography by Jorge Alvariño. Graphic design by Agencia Player. Produced by Laura Escarza. Executive producer María Jesús Espinosa de los Monteros, Anelia Fernández Granados. Featuring the voices of Alex Martínez, Andrés Viezma, Arushi Goel, Carlos Manrique, David Arroyo, Debbie Greenberg, Jason Neal, Juan Vega, Juan Fran Vasco, Lisa Krosnicki, Luis Carvajosa, Luke Cooper, María Milán, Mariajo de las Heras, Marta Rubio, Marta Salgado, Rosalie Wheeler, Skyler Hedstrom, Steve Loader, and Stephen Hughes.
Unleashed is an adaptation from Titania, an original Spanish audio drama, translated by Laura H. Farhall.